Hello and welcome back to another Classic WoW video. So today we will talk about the future of Classic WoW before TBC, if or when that comes out. The thing about Classic is that it all boils down to the community and the players themselves. Sure, we have new raids coming out every now and then with the new faces, but most of them really aren't that difficult and will be cleared very fast. Just look at Blackwing Lair, which most people thought would be the first challenge in Classic WoW. That raid was cleared within the first 14 minutes of the raid actually being live. Classic raids weren't made for raiders with the 2020 mindset, where we min-max everything, we use potions and world buffs to our advantage, clever mob skips, top DPS, top HPS, and all that stuff. So when I think of Classic long-term and its true success, I think of community events. And just to mention an example of a community event that has already happened, and will also continue happening over several seasons, is the CDL, or Classic Duelers League, where Tips Out casts several different other streamers and content creators, dueling against each other to move on further in the tournament and to ultimately be in the CDL Championship, where they can earn some real money. Over the next couple of weeks, we'll also see Cargos' Hardcore Community Cup, which is basically a Classic WoW Ironman challenge that everyone can participate in, as long as they stream or record their journey to make their run legitimate. It does also have a couple different rules than the actual Ironman challenge, but the thing they have in common is that upon death, you delete your character and start over again. A short explanation of the rules in the Classic WoW Hardcore challenge is that you can't die, you can't trade with others, you can't use the auction house, you can't group up in the open world, Warlocks can't use Soulstone, Shamans can't use Ankh, and Paladins cannot use the Bubble Hearth mechanic. You are also allowed to group up and do dungeons if everyone in the group is doing the hardcore challenge, since that will make the dungeon more exciting as well. You're also allowed to use both professions and talents, and you can use any gear you happen to find by questing or other means as long as you find the items yourself, and you don't buy them from others because trading is not allowed. I will leave a link to Cargos' channel in the description below in case you want to watch this event or participate in it, so you can check out his channel and join his Discord and ask him questions about this event if you have any questions. This event happens on February 29th, it's a 12-hour challenge, so hopefully we will do more of these in the future, hopefully ones that span over a couple of weeks or months, so we can actually attempt to level 1 to 60 in the Hardcore Community Cup as well. The Hardcore Leveling Challenge in Classic is one of the best community events, or communities in general if you ask me. There's a Hardcore Classic Discord with over 2,000 members where you can chat, find groups for dungeons, watch highlights and death clips and everything. It is absolutely one of the best community-driven alternative gameplay experiences out there, and it really makes leveling a new character fun and challenging at the same time. I am personally also attempting this challenge at the moment, and I stream it every now and then on this YouTube channel and on my Twitch channel, so make sure you subscribe with notifications on so you can tune in to one of those streams. Also follow me on Twitch, which is linked in the description. I am streaming the entire adventure from level 1 to level 60, or whenever I die and give up the challenge, but I do want to make it as far as possible on my hardcore character. So as far as community events that are currently happening, those are the main two that I know about, but there are several different community events that I want to see happen, and that I also would personally love to be a part of, and I'll talk a bit about them now. So for the first community event I really want to see in Classic WoW, it's fairly simple, and it's a speed leveling challenge. See who can do 1 to 60 the fastest. I know this has currently happened with Joker leveling at a godly rate at the launch of Classic, but I would love to see this happen again, and it could provide tons of content by many people streaming it, so you could hop into multiple different streams, and it gives everyone a reason to up their game as much as possible. This challenge could be done in at least 2 different ways. You have the exciting way of doing it, which is leveling from 1 to 60 as fast as possible in real time, meaning that whoever can play more hours per day will have an advantage, while anyone who has real-life commitments will be at a disadvantage. And you have the less exciting but more fair way of doing it, which is time played in-game. This gives people with real-life commitments more of a shot at winning, but it also promotes this to happen over a long period of time, because the more rested experience you accumulate, the faster you level. So there's pros and cons to both methods, I suppose. Next up we have a dungeon speed clearing competition, which could be a community event where you try to clear a certain dungeon as fast as possible. This could also be done in several different ways, but the way I imagine it is you have one specific dungeon every week, or every other week, where the streamers who participate in the event all try to complete that specific dungeon as fast as possible. Then the next weekend you have a brand new dungeon. And to give people time to prepare, there should also be a dungeon speed clearing competition Discord, where you release which dungeon will be next weekend on, for example, Sunday, giving people 5 days to prepare and practice before it's showtime on Friday and Saturday. This would preferably be high level dungeons only, but could also be dungeons like the Dead Mines, but then it would have to have a level cap. So for example, only for level 15s. This would also give people another reason to level alts and gear up alts at lower levels than just twinking. Speaking of twinking, that's the theme of the next community event I would like to see. Personally, I'm more interested in the level 19 and level 29 brackets, but basically it could be a twink version of the CDL, so having upper and lower brackets and having everyone duel everyone over several weekends to lead up to a championship weekend later on. Basically a dueling-like tournament, but for twinks, so pretty much everyone has a leveled playing field, because in most level 60 duels you will have a huge advantage if you are a social media influencer, as you will automatically be given more loot in raids, both in terms of epics and legendaries. But when it comes to twinking, pretty much everyone can get best in slot equipment. It just requires a bit of gold investment, and doing the Stranglethorn Arena a couple of times if you want that trinket, of course. Another community event I would love to see is a form of hide and seek. This is pretty much something anyone out there can do, and to incentivize it further, you can for example hide somewhere in Elven Forest, and say in general chat that the first one to trade you receives 20 gold or something like that. You can also give out clues to help people find you in case your hiding spot is too good, and I think it's a great way to have fun within the game in a different way than usual. This can also be expanded depending on how famous you are and your server. You can for example hide anywhere in the Eastern Kingdoms and show a percentage of your screen to your viewers, or have it be in first person camera or pointed at the ground, and yeah, there's just many different ways of doing this, but I think it could be very fun. The last community event I'm going to talk about in this video is a style event or a transmog contest. This could either take place in the game, making it server specific, or it could be a classic style Discord where people send in screenshots of their character and have people vote on which one they think look the coolest. This could incentivize grinding lower level dungeons, which again incentivizes high levels, running through lower level dungeons, and therefore also possibly helping lower level people complete their dungeon quests. There are many cool looking items in Classic, and since most of the cool items in the game serve no other purpose than looking cool, like the Red Defire's mask, I think having a contest like this would be pretty fun. The only part that would or could make it challenging is that there's a very limited amount of cool looking items in Classic, if you look away from the class sets from raids, so there might be a lot of the same submissions from different people, but then again that is where clever use of engineering goggles or hairstyles or guild tabards come into play to spice up the style even more, so I think this could be kinda fun. I do think that community events in general is the future of Classic WoW, as that is mostly what will keep the non-raiding and non-PvPing player base coming back to this game, and let's be real here. The main player base is not hardcore raiders or hardcore PvPers. Most people are actually just casual players leveling their mains or leveling alts, and pugging raids every now and then. I do also think it would be fun if Blizzard actually made hardcore servers where dying would make your character instantly be deleted, but that is a discussion for a different time. I just know that they have done this with Diablo, and it was a pretty big success over there, and it could be fun to try in World of Warcraft as well. When it comes to community events and community challenges like the ones mentioned in this video, it really is up to the community which ones are good enough to actually become a reality. So let me know in the comments if there's any community events mentioned in this video that you like, or if there's any that you dislike, and if you can think of any community events you want to see in Classic that I did not mention in this video, let me know in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up as it really helps me out and it helps the YouTube algorithm stuff and things. If you want to see more videos from me, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.